Welcome back to AgriTalk as we broadcast from downtown Kansas City, the American Coalition for Ethanol Conference. Our broadcast brought to you by the Kansas Bioscience Authority. Tom Thornton is their president and CEO. We've had Tom on before, but first time we've had him in person with us. Good to see you face to face.
Oh, good morning, and thank you.
We've got a lot to talk about, and under this umbrella of addressing national challenges with bioscience in the heartland, and that's really what the Kansas Bioscience Authority is all about. I mean, we're talking about addressing a lot of key issues. A lot of the focus is, of course, on moving the research facility from Plum Island to Kansas, and there's been a lot of debate and controversy over that. But the decision's been made, and you tell me now that the work is underway and things are full speed ahead.
Absolutely, and let me put this in some context. The most imminent threat to our nation's homeland security, most imminent threat, is a biological attack. A biological attack perpetrated against a subway or perpetrated against a feedlot. In addition to that, beyond the imminence of it, is that this nation gets a failing grade for our ability to recognize, respond to, and recover from a biological attack. And this is really where the National Bio-Agri-Defense Facility comes in. It's a part of a much broader effort to bolster our nation's research in this particular area to come up with vaccines and countermeasures and diagnostics to protect agriculture. An introduction of a pathogen into a feedlot or a crop would be devastating to our nation's agriculture economy. And again, this nation is fundamentally not prepared, and that's what this investment's all about. And this state has a huge concentration of animal health companies and a huge concentration of research. It's the right place to do this kind of research. You mentioned commercialization. The very companies that would commercialize the research from the National Bio-Agri-Defense Facility are the animal health companies in this corridor stretching approximately from Manhattan, Kansas to Columbia, Missouri.
But there are still those who are concerned but are you bringing a risk to the very heart of, say, cattle country or near cattle country if you bring all this research and the risk of escapes of pathogens and things like that? Have you been able to kind of calm those fears?
You know, I tell you, we want and everyone wants the most safe and secure facility, period. But the fact of the matter is this kind of research is conducted every day, not just at Plum Island where the existing research is going on, but in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, at the Centers for Disease Control, in Frederick, Maryland, at facilities there, and I might even add up in Winnipeg, Canada, where the Canadian lab is. So in terms of the safety and security of this, the NBAF is going through a technical evaluation by the National Academy of Sciences, currently a risk assessment. That risk assessment will better inform what kind of safety and security, both processes and construction issues will need to be integrated into the lab to make it, again, the most safe and most secure lab possible.
Whether it's protecting the food supply or developing biofuel production, the whole issue of we are better served, we're talking about national defense here, really through research done in the heartland. That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely right. And you hit a point, and I'll put this in context. The KBA, the Kansas Bioscience Authority, is a $581 million fund. Our thesis fundamentally is let's invest in areas where we have a strength in terms of research and a strength in terms of industrial clustering. So one of those areas of strength is animal health, and again, the whole notion of protecting agriculture through biodefense is a part of that. And another major area is bioenergy. Huge player here. Lots of research capacity. K-State, even the University of Kansas. Certainly industrial concentration. Great many of the companies here in the hall today, obviously from this region. Our thesis, though, is very clear. This is a state that is willing to invest in research, but more importantly, let's get the product of that research to the marketplace. So collaboration with industry is key. We've funded an organization called the Kansas Alliance for Bioenergy and Biorefining, CAB, we call it. It is an organization that is probably unique in the nation. It's a not-for-profit led by industry. Major players like ICM and ADM and others are partners and members of this entity. Industry comes together, they set the research agenda, and they use our funds, our monies, to advance collaborative research with academic institutions and collaborative research with themselves. The bias is not just research for research's sake. The bias is let's invest in things and let's get them to market.
That's Tom Thornton, President and CEO of the Kansas Bioscience Authority. Someone I know very interested in what he just had to say is the Senator a retiring senator. Let me get that right. I'm going to get all of his titles here. A retiring senator from the state of Kansas, now the Republican nominee for governor in the state of Kansas, Senator Sam Brownback, who's going to be with us in person. Got called back to Washington for a vote, but I'm told is calling in now. Senator, are you there?
I am here, and I wish I were there. Unfortunately, I had a couple votes I had to do this morning, and they don't let me do it remotely. So I'm here. I hope you're having a great show. And I did get to hear Tom Thornton, who does a great job on the biosciences issues. That's a big part of our future.
Congratulations on your win in the primary yesterday, and the very topic that Tom was just discussing. I know you're proud of the state of Kansas for being a leader in this area of ag research.
Oh, I am. And I'm also, though, focused on the issue of not just in research, but you get that research off the bench and out into the marketplace, creating jobs and opportunities in markets for our ag products. That's what we've got to do. We can't just have nice research going. We got to create jobs and opportunities with it. That's what I see in the animal health corridor, where we've already got 30% of the global business in animal health is in that corridor in the Kansas City region. We can grow that, I'd hope, to 50%. I'd like to see us expand animal agriculture in the western part of the state in particular, more dairy expansion. And the energy business is a key one for us looking forward. Our ethanol is the cheapest produced in the country, and we can feed the grain, the distiller's grain, wet, don't have to ship it a far distance. I'd love to see us expand more in ethanol and wind production. These are key places for us to grow, and grow in rural areas of Kansas where we've had very lethargic economic growth and a lot of population loss.
Before you leave the Senate, are we going to get an extension of the tax credit for ethanol, do you think?
I don't know. I was talking with Chuck Grassley, Senator Grassley, about that the other day, and we're getting our heads together of what we could get moved forward, but the clock is running short on this. I think we need to do that. I also think we need to get our blend standards up from 10% ethanol blend to a 15% blend, and I've been pushing that. And another thing we need to do is to get over half of our car fleet by really 2012, we could do it, or 2013, be able to run on E85. So you can get a much higher blend of ethanol running in the car fleet. These would be good for our economy and for our national security and for our environment.
Well, Senator, thanks for joining us by phone. I hope you can get some breakthrough in the logjam that's there in Washington, D.C., and good luck on getting some of these things done before you leave, and good luck in your race for governor.
I appreciate that very much. Godspeed, everybody. Take care.
All right, that is Kansas Senator, retiring Senator Sam Brownback. And again, yesterday he won the Republican gubernatorial race in the primary as he looks to move to the governor's mansion in the state of Kansas. Tom Thornton, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Tom Thornton, President and CEO of the Kansas Bioscience Authority, our sponsor for our broadcast here today from the American Coalition for Ethanol Conference going on here in Kansas City. A lot of key issues facing the renewable fuels industry, and a lot of eyes still turned towards Washington, D.C., waiting and hoping for some action on some of these issues. All right, we'll be back in studio tomorrow. Hope you'll join us right here on AgriTalk, the voice of rural America.